This is going to be my 5th time trying to record myself reviewing The Lord of Chaos because of random weird technical difficulties. So please let this finally happen.
Just somebody's opinion.
Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel, Just Somebody's Opinion. My name is Bodhi, and this is the channel where I talk about random things I like talking about, which right now is mostly the Wheel of Time. And today I'm going to be talking about my Lord of Chaos book review. This won't be a play-by-play, it will be my top reactions and thoughts from my reread of Lord of Chaos. Because of all the delays, I am currently already in Crossroads of Twilight, book 10, so 4 books on since Lord of Chaos. But Lord of Chaos remains super memorable, so let's just dive into it. Before we begin, spoiler warning, please note that I will be discussing details of Lord of Chaos quite heavily. Please like and subscribe if you'd like to follow me through my reread. So let's talk about what exactly I remembered from Lord of Chaos in my What I Remember from the Wheel of Time video. Cut to the video. Okay, what do I remember from the Lord of... And I think I remember Lord of Chaos being my favorite, and I don't remember much in it except the opening poem. I remember it like it's the back of my hand. It's oh god, I forgot. Wait. Blind woman, deaf man, jackdaw fool, let the Lord of Chaos rule. The opening prologue with the dark one in all caps. That one's super clear in my head. And then I remember, and of course, so it's Rand in the box. And then there's Dumai's fucking wells. And so that's all I remember from Lord of Chaos. Even if I say that it's my favorite book. But maybe it's just my favorite book because of Dumai's fucking wells. So, obviously, I didn't remember much about Lord of Chaos, even if I said that it was my favorite. So, let's dive into what I did like about Lord of Chaos. So, I definitely liked Rand's character development with Luz Theron. You can really see that the struggle was there, and Luz Theron was this own personality who was also wondering, why do I hear someone else's voice in here? And it was cool that in the end they ended up working together to get out of the box. So that was good of them. Another thing I really liked was Perrin's Banff moment. So the last time we heard of Perrin was in Lord of Chaos. In Fires of Heaven, the previous book, we didn't hear anything from him. And at the beginning of Lord of Chaos, he tells Fail, I feel something. He's pulling me. He will need me. And then they go. And then disappear. And then they appear like 300 pages before the ending. And I really liked the entrance of the Two Rivers folk into Camelin, where it was all through that Saldean's point of view. And it was like, who are these folk who seem to have super long bows and this huge man who was leading them? It was Perrin. It's always nice to see what other people think about our characters, because we are so deep inside their POVs that it's always cool that when other people see them, they see a badass motherfucker. Speaking of Perrin's Banff moment, we've always known Perrin to be the thoughtful one, the slow, steady one. But when Rand is revealed to have been kidnapped, he takes bloody charge, and he takes the Brains men and the Mayaners and even the Aes Sedai to get through to Rand and go through 40,000 a year. And that was pretty cool, especially as a character development for Perrin. Another thing that I liked about the book was Nynaeve healing Severing. It is one of the only times I like Nynaeve here because, okay, maybe I'll skip on the Nynaeve thing until after my what I didn't like about the book, because I didn't like Nynaeve in this book, except for the healing of Severing, I think. Another thing I really liked about the book was the beating of Egwene for her toe. And I know people have very mixed feelings about the corporal punishment in The Wheel of Time, but I've always been, ever since book 2, I've always been super uncomfortable that they had been passing themselves off as Aes Sedai, and the fact that they continued passing themselves off as Aes Sedai with the Aiel, it felt very uncomfortable. It felt very um, deceitful, which I liked Egwene confronting and seizing that responsibility, so much so that before she leaves for the tower, she wants to make it right with the Aiel. And the great thing about Jieto is that once the toll has been paid, the crime, no, not the crime, the transgression would have been forgotten and forgiven. So I thought that was cathartic. And I felt that was way needed because Egwene was gonna be Amerlin and she was gonna transform into this Amerlin. But before that, they had to balance it out. What else did I like about Lord of Chaos? So I liked the institution of the Black Tower. I liked the meeting of Taim and Rand for the first time, even if Lews Therin was screaming bloody murder. I liked how Rand had this soft moment, I guess, where he named the Ashaman as Ashaman and peered them into Ashaman, dedicated and soldier. I thought that was a soft moment for him. I mean, I guess in his mind he was making them weapons, but I liked how he had put thought into it. He had even, made those little pins, and how Taim was like, I don't want these pins on me. I don't want to be the first Ashaman. And then one of the things I really liked about Lord of Chaos was the lead up to Dumai's Wells, meaning when Rand was kidnapped, and that was in itself a chilling moment when he realizes that, oh my goodness, it's not only three Aes Sedai, there are so many more who were hidden. But when they capture him, they keep him in that box in Cairhien for a while, and there is just this sense of impending doom. There's this tension that is just pulling and pulling and pulling, because you know that they're gonna have to rescue Rand, but everything, like, no one knew where Rand went, and that was also a brilliant move. They were taking advantage of the fact that Rand jumped around a lot. And then finally, the Dumai's Wells climax, which was the turning point. This is the turning point of the entire series, because suddenly in the Westlands, or whatever we call this, the Randland part of the world, suddenly the One Power was used as a weapon. After 3,000 years of Aes Sedai not doing that, and we're not counting the Shanchan, because the Shanchan were invaders at this point. This were Randlanders, Westlanders, and the balance of power entirely shifted, because suddenly the Aes Sedai were kneeling. Suddenly there were men channeling who were making blenders out of men. I remember feeling the chills. And back to the lead up, I remember being so angry at the people who were beating Rand, and I was like, oh my god, please just sever them all, still them all. And Robert Jordan is so good at this tension point. Those were the things I really liked about Lord of Chaos. So, what didn't I like, or was pretty meh about? Okay, more of like what I didn't like, and that is the Nynaeve and Elaine storyline. Maybe back to the Nynaeve storyline, which is, well, definitely she is less annoying as book 5. Book 5, I found Nynaeve completely annoying. For book 6, I guess she was trying to be true to herself, but I mean, this goes into the whole Bowl of Winds storyline, but the only reason why they found the Bowl of Winds was because Nynaeve wanted to escape, being unaccepted again. I mean, this is gonna have a payoff afterwards, but at this point, I was like, oh my god. And then they're treating Matt like shit again. And thank goodness for that foxhead medallion. When Matt was trying to pull away the stole of the of the Emerald from Egwene, and then the weaves were melting from him. But they're treating Matt like shit again, which will be rectified in the next book. Sorry, spoilers. And then, so in my notes, I write here, Morghese. Why? Why must this happen? Why do I need to care about Morghese going around Amadisha? Like, why? Why do I need to know? Let's talk about what things that I completely forgot about, right? I forgot about how Nynaeve and Elaine were suddenly the teachers of Teleran Riyadh to the Saladar Council, which was cool in a way. And then everyone was, so what I forgot was that everyone was building up to some plan towards Ilian, which I thought would be book 7. And then I wrote this down. All this plotting of Pedro Nile, is it gonna come to fruit? Again, why must I care? And I wrote here, what the fuck is going on with this Morghese storyline? I also wrote, I love how Moraine's voice is loud and clear with her lessons in the book. And that was one of the cool things I thought, because in book 5, you can see her trying to hammer into Rand everything that she could before she... And here, every time Rand did something clever through Dice Daimar or whatever, the voice of Moraine would be saying, yes, do this and do that. And so it was really nice to see that. Another thing that I didn't recall, but I remembered when I read through the book, was Pater Connell, the dark friend who was harassing Matt and Rand back in book 1. Rand or Matt broke his nose. So they were here in Amadisha while Morghese was prisoner. And the White Cloaks caught them in a dark friend ritual. White Cloaks don't need much to seize you, but it's so funny that they actually caught a bunch of dark friends. And then finally, one of my last notes was, what had Demandred done? Maybe I'll remember, or maybe I'll see this once I go through the reread, but right now I don't remember what Demandred had done. So how do I rank Lord of Chaos through the 6 books of the Wheel of Time that I've read right now? I would put, and here's the ranking of the 6 books. I would put Shadow Rising top tier. That's the first one. And then I would put Great Hunt, The Great Hunt and Lord of Chaos in the same tier. So that's the next tier. After that, it would be The Dragon Reborn, and then The Fires of Heaven is my least favorite. Did I get all 6? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1. And Eye of the World. Oh my god, where's Eye of the World? Okay, Eye of the World is with... Sorry, Eye of the World. Eye of the World is with Fires of Heaven. Maybe it's... No. I found it a bit very slow. And again, all of these books are really good. And it's just a matter of relativity of where they are in my ranking. So that was my Lord of Chaos review. One of, I would say, still one of my favorites because it is up here in the top, along with The Shadow Rising and The Great Hunt. And what I really liked about it was the fundamental shift in the power dynamics that happened at the end of the book. So that's what I thought about The Lord of Chaos. What did you think about them? And what are you excited to know about as we get into Book 7, Crown of Swords? So if you liked what you heard and you want to join me in my reread, please click like and subscribe. And I'll see you in the next reread.
Just somebody's opinion.